my God, that's her.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, that's her. It looks like her.
You guys know about the mattress theory, right?
No.
Let's have a look at this lady behind President Trump and just look into her eyes.
Why is this so far-fetched for people to believe?
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day. Y'all make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's your thoughts on the Epstein files?
At the end of the day, what happened, right?
Is it still happening?
I don't know. Do you think it is?
I think so.
Okay, so release it.
Why is this so far-fetched for people to believe? We already know that there are people stealing other people's organs and selling them on the black market, right? We know that that happens for a fact. They're stealing kidneys, they'll kidnap you, drug you, and take body parts, right? Like that's not conspiracy. We know that that happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it so crazy to believe that they would be doing any of this?
It's right. This is a video. Peter Nygaard,
And the guy got
Jeffrey
locked up.
Epstein associate, attempting to purchase babies from black women, saying whatever I bid, he's going to outbid me. I'll buy 60,000 worth of eggs, umbilical cord, a placenta, even your period blood is so rich with stem cells.
Well, I mean, they do.
Oh, that's different. That's the adrenochrome stuff, right?
Well, that's also bad if you're taking baby blood.
No, yeah, I know. But I thought he was saying they're eating actual babies.
I mean,
It's a little different.
I mean, this is just, he just chooses to consume it a different way.
it's crazy to think. Yeah, it's just like everything's on the table, bro. Everything's back on the table.
Literally.
Everything's back on the table. We're not calling conspiracy theorists crazy anymore.
You
We're not
can't.
saying, no, everything's back on the table.
You
That's
can't.
it.
And that's literally what it boils down to.
They want American kids to rot in hell, but they want their kids to grow up with the ability to focus. And it's the same thing with the tech guys in Silicon Valley. They don't let their kids use this stuff. They make their nannies sign contracts that they will not let the kid have a phone. They will not expose the kid to that. They send their kids to schools like the Waldorf school precisely because there are no computers or tech in the classroom. So once again, we see their revealed behavior. They know they designed it to be addictive. They know it's addictive. They don't let their kids use it.
We've partied a lot of like cool places. It's dark as fuck. And you see some shit that you wish you didn't see. We've like brushed shoulders with crazy people, obviously like Trump, like Elon Musk. We're not really around this circle too much, right? This is like the most elite of elite people kind of like in the world.
What's the Pizzagate thing?
Isn't that like child? Don't they say that's code
that's what that
for?
is? That's what they comment on all the Canes, or not just Canes, but all the TikToks.
Really? Pizza?
Yes.
Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Vatican. There's a criminal faction within these Jesuits who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
I started off at a low security prison. They sent me to Inglewood. And if no one knows, that's where like Jared Fogle is.
You were there with Jared Fogle?
Yeah, subway creep.
What was that like?
Weird. Cause like I'm not a sex offender, I'm not a rat. But I'm a first time offender of a certain age with a certain background, so low security. And so like the sex offenders like kind of ran that yard. It was weird. There was like a non-sex offender section to eat at, and there was like 3 tables. And the rest were them. And Jared had like a little posse. And he would like go play tennis every day. He was super skinny, like just having a tan playing tennis all day. Just a real fucking creep, that guy.
Oh my God, that's her.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, that's her. It looks like her.
This happened in my hometown, y'all.
Took a picture of her, and he's like looking at her. And in the thing, it said the lady's wearing like pink pants.
The Amber Alert, the one I yesterday?
Never? Yesterday? That one.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Should I block this truck?
Huh?
Should I block them?
Should block. Let me write it down.
Texas plate.
Texas plate, what is it? Is she a young girl?
You can't look it up of what she looks like?
Yes, I can. It's right here.
Got it? Show me a picture, because I know what that girl looks like. She ran right past me.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God, that's her.
Yeah? Is it really?
Yep, that's her. It looks like her. That's exactly what she looks like.
They usually don't have these fairy tale endings, y'all.
Going into Iran is entirely different than going into Venezuela.
92 million people. It's a gigantic country. It's bigger than Texas. And it has 92 million people. And I think that at the White House, they have just bitten right into this Israeli propaganda. The same kind of propaganda we got in 2003, that as soon as we cross that border, they're going to throw flowers at us and they're going to greet us as liberators and we're all going to live happily ever after and everybody's going to get rich on the new oil deals. And that's just not going to happen.
Breaking news. Breaking news. I got these clips last night, doing it this morning on Saturday. We have bombed Iran with Israel for the same reason we bombed Iraq in 2003 for WMDs. So we'll see how this unfolds, y'all. But, you know, this is fresh. This is new. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of upcoming news in the upcoming videos with what's going on over there.
Holding a Stargate that could literally change Earth's future. And nobody's been talking about it until now. This is more than just politics because Iran sits on Stargate 10, a pre-fall energetic portal once used to anchor eternal life energy into Mother Earth's body. For thousands of years, it's been hijacked by fallen forces who've sent frequencies through it to trap the solar masculine and suppress the divine feminine voice. The people and voices rising up right now, they're not just protesters, they are souls who are awakening. And every single chant is cracking open dormant gateways buried in their DNA and in the land itself. You see, if the Abadan gate reopens and distortion is cleared over Iran, a dormant energy current could flood into Mother Earth's planetary grid, reconnecting Persia to the eternal flame template. This wouldn't just free Iran, it could shift Mother Earth's entire energetic grid. Stargate 10 and the Middle East has been fought over in the invisible world for centuries. It's not just for oil. It's a very valuable piece of real estate and the time has come to restore it.
So, allegedly, El Mencho's right-hand man named El Tuli was just unalive too. They said El Tuli was heated, fool, when they found out that El Mencho was unalive. So they was like, this man said he putting a $1,200 bounty on every Mexican soldier. It's like, I want $1,200 on each motherfucker head. They say he was the reason for the roadblocks, for the ambushes on the soldiers and all this other shit that was going on after El Mencho passed away. So allegedly, they went to go make an arrest on El Tuli. He upped that motherfucker. Like, I ain't finna get arrested. I'm going out on my shield. And that's what he did, y'all. He went out on his shield because instead of them arresting him, they had to unalive him. Allegedly, that's what they're saying. So if they was going crazy for El Mencho, don't you think they finna turn up for El Tuli too? He probably already had a little written jump like, hey, if I go out, go ham. So essentially, it's already crazy in Mexico. Maybe it's about to be even more crazy, cuz.
I don't think a lot of people realize that there were no traces of Zyklon B in Auschwitz, which was the gas that was used in the Holocaust. And if you think I'm making stuff up, there was literally a guy in like the 70s and 80s who made videos about it, and they were on YouTube of him going to Auschwitz and actually like videotaping and taking samples of the walls. He ended up finding no traces of Zyklon B in those walls that left off residue. Also, I kind of find it funny how there's no evidence of gas chambers either. They somehow got miraculously blown up by Allied bombings.
This is a scary interview. There are weapons that are frying our brains. The CIA is lying about it. The CIA told you they would willingly lie to Congress. That means you can't trust anything that comes out of their mouths from this point forward.
If there is a knowing intent to deceive the public, that's covert influence. There's hardly a greater sin when it comes to activity from the organization than to collect on or influence the American people. That is a cardinal sin you cannot recover from. And it's beyond absurd, I think, now that we continue to say that this isn't real.
Who are they serving? That's the real question.
Themselves, I think.
Are there any photos of him in jail? I've never thought about that before, but what you're saying is a good.
If let's say you were the person that had all this incredible information around the world, bribery, do you really think you take drug lords? You're not killing them. You need the information, so you're going to bring him somewhere. You're going to milk him to it, however that is. Whether he's tied up, you're going to torment him. Be like, listen, I'm telling you right now, we're going to take care of you. However, I need to know. You say there's tapes, right? Yeah. Where are the tapes? Write them down, and you're going to stay. Don't feed him. Don't feed him until we get that one tape and we have these names in our hands. And that's probably been going on even for months, for years. You're not taking someone like that and going, oh, we're just gonna put this very valuable human being into a jail cell.
Y'all check this out right here.
This pickup truck. It sat in my backyard for a year and a half. Didn't use it, didn't need it. Yada yada. Driving it now. Cleaning it out. It's untelling how long it's been in there now. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. One of the boys must have got it. That's a Chick-fil-A mac and cheese. It was in the back seat.
Show the date on the receipt.
Seat. Untelling how long it's been in there. Over a year and a half, I know. Probably close to 2 years. Heat, cold, everything. Not a spot of mold.
It does look old.
Y'all eat that garbage.
There's a documentary that Howard Stern's team did of the live show on 9/11 of them just recording, because it's in New York, of them recording the show during 9/11. And literally, like, this is the type of show that Howard Stern is. I started watching it again last night because it's my comfort thing. I just chuck it on in the background. It goes for like 3-4 hours, but it's a long doco basically going through the whole day and like, oh, here's a timestamp at this time of the day, blah, blah, blah. The start of the video, it's like at 8:55, and they're talking about Howard going out the night before with Pamela Anderson and sucking her tits and like all like very risque stuff, and talking about, oh, you would sleep with her and you do as well, like raunchy American type of stuff, like American humor, radio type of things. And then one of the guys, like, he gets a thing and he says like, oh, I just got some breaking news. Apparently a plane's hit the World Trade Center. And then the guy he's on the phone to, who's his stylist, is like, oh, let me have a look. It's across the road or something from me. And he goes and he's like, oh my fucking God, it's completely on fire, blah, blah, blah. And that's the whole thing throughout the day. It's people calling in who are on the ground, getting video. It's a really interesting, in-depth look at that day.
Yeah. I think one of the dumbest things we ever did was eliminate the Colombian cartels, which work with me on this. The Colombians, as violent and dangerous as they were, there were 2 or 3 Colombian cartels, really 1 or 2, and they controlled the market and they were business oriented. When we more or less eliminated the Colombian cartels, what we did was we pushed the cartel businesses north to Mexico. And because Mexico obviously has more people that are closer to the United States than does Colombia for the sheer geography of it, it made the business much more ubiquitous. What I mean by that is there are more cartels in Mexico than there were in Colombia. There are more people in Mexico participating. It just incentivized everybody in Mexico to get involved. But it seems to me, from a purely anecdotal standpoint, that the Mexican cartels are more dangerous to North Americans than were the Colombians. The Colombians might kill each other, but not at the rate the Mexican cartels do.
People.
Well, when it first started, y'all, if you guys watch Narcos in Mexico, there was one dude that ran all of them, y'all. Now, there was one dude, he ran all the countries in Mexico, right? He gave each country, you guys run this territory, you run Juarez, you run Tijuana, you run, Guadalajara, you run all these, right? When he got arrested, he said, you guys just opened up the gates of hell now. You're welcome. right? The DEA guy got killed and they pinned it on him, even though CIA, it came out later that CIA was in that room when they killed that DEA agent because that DEA agent was uncovering some crazy things that America was involved in. But they pinned it on that dude, and he said, "You arrested me, the gates of hell are opening." That's when all these cartel wars started happening, y'all. Very interesting that Narcos Mexico, how the cartels got started and how organized they were in the beginning. There wasn't a lot of fighting with the cartels. They happened here and there, but it wasn't until he got arrested, Felix, until all hell broke loose.
What the hell is this? Caught on a lure for all
my
my
microphone?
dumpster buddies
Okay.
out there that be catching supposedly all keepers and stuff. Yeah, show the real picture. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? For my dumper shrimp lures, the gurus. Leave it in the comments. Damn, no, Eddie, don't get excited now.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, what?
What's the most blood-curdling fact you know? In the 1960s, NASA funded an experiment
familiar.
to teach dolphins English. They were like giving the dolphins LSD to maybe help them communicate with humans better. And it seemed to be working pretty well. Like dolphins were kind of learning how to communicate with humans. The reason the experiment ended was because one of the scientists working with the dolphins was having sex with a dolphin named Peter. So they had to end the experiment, and then Peter killed himself.
In Florida, there are certain parts where the ocean is up on, like, there's grass and sidewalks and stuff, but there's an ocean right there. All of a sudden, 2 dolphins come up to me 2 feet away, and they just start squawking, dude. They were like talking to me and shit. I'm not pretending I knew what the fuck they were saying, but they were trying. I went for a walk with these fucking 2 dolphins. About 50 yards, we got to the corner, and they were just like, fucking later, bro.
You know, I don't normally jump on the they clone people train, but I am going to say this recent appearance of Jim Carrey at this awards show don't look like him at all. This is on that line of synthetic skin suit looking, and he said in the past that he hates going to award shows, and he seems real happy to be at this one. The biggest reason I don't believe in the whole clone thing with celebrities is because celebrities pass away all the time. What is the reason for them to be cloned? You know, and you always hear that whole Q argument that the tribunals happen and they got taken out, but if they got taken out, why couldn't they just pass? Why do you need to continue to have this fake version of them out in the public? And I know if you watch my content, you're on the side of TikTok that says Selena Gomez is a clone right now, with people showing videos from her in the past and then videos now and seeing the height differences with her and other people, amongst other side-by-side things. But with the Jim Carrey thing, I just don't understand why he would be cloned. And y'all can talk about it in the comments because I want to know what your theories are. You know, and this could just be another Bradley Cooper situation where a man just can't accept that he's aging and got a bad plastic surgery. In Hollywood, there could be a secret underground cloning facility. I just don't understand the purpose. But I will say this does not look like Jim Carrey anymore.
Oh, it could be a fucking robot.
Bro, it could be anything at this point.
It's not Ghislaine, though.
Yeah.
You know that much.
I mean, you can just look at her. Again, your nose doesn't change. It'll grow, but doesn't change over time.
No, you can't go from looking like Ghislaine to like a Sesame Street character. She looks like Oscar the Grouch.
They
like,
pulled
nah.
the same move with Joe Biden.
Facts.
That's the same move.
Like, it's not even like a
What
old
happened
play.
to Joe Biden?
Why do you guys think that Hollywood is so closely tied to the government? Because of shit like this.
Damn, you would think they would have some better special effects makeup.
They probably don't even give a fuck at this point.
They don't. You see that wig?
See how we saw that and then people still go to work the next day?
I'm saying.
Like,
exactly.
They don't fucking care.
They really don't. They're like, wait, hold on. We told these motherfuckers Satanists were eating babies and y'all are still going to work?
Still
Oh,
going
shit,
to work.
they'll take anything.
We should be flipping the whole table over right now.
I saw a meme. It was a very good point. It said, BLM, we protest. ICE, we protest. LGBTQ, we protest. Missing kids, there was never a protest. There's never been a massive protest on kids or missing kids, and that's been going on since the beginning of time.
So what does that tell you then?
They're funded.
They're funded. And this is documented because if you look at the No Kings protests, you look at BLM, let's just go to the ICE riots, right? There's ICE riot protests, right? If you look at Neville Singham, who's actually a CCP-linked billionaire who lives in Shanghai right now, and he's funding these protests. His name is on their flyers.
Just out in the open.
Out in the open. The same thing with the No Kings protest. That was funded by the Waltons. Christy Walton from Walmart. Yeah, she funded that too. So we have all these billionaires funding these movements who's supposed to be against the elites, but you have elite funded protests.
Y'all are the elites.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Take us down.
Like, where they do that at?
So we don't have any protests for missing kids at all?
It hasn't happened.
It's never happened.
Nobody gives a shit?
I'll wait.
That's crazy.
I mean, not only missing young ones, but no protests for. We work hard, y'all. We spend 40 hours, 8 hours a day, sometimes more, out of our days, right? 8 hours of our day working a job we don't like, and they take half of our money we work for and steal it, don't even put it towards anything. And the people that steal it, they don't put their money to the pot, and we don't protest for that. We're spending our time paying taxes. This is what I'm talking about. Paying taxes. We're spending our time to pay taxes to God knows what, where this money's going. But the people that are making all this crazy money, they're not paying taxes. But if we don't pay taxes, we go under the jail. Every time we go to the grocery store, every time we go to do gas, every time we get taxed on something, and then when we sell something, we get taxed on that. We get taxed on tax, and nobody's protesting on that. No one's protesting on missing young ones. No one's protesting on these rich elites that are doing God knows what with our young ones. We're protesting off things they want us to protest on. We're at a new war that we didn't want to be in. Do we want to be at war with Iran? Really? Israel wants us at war with Iran, so we're at war with them. If you watch the news today, they say we bombed with Israel. They don't say we bombed America bombed Israel or bombed Iran. They say America bombed Iran with Israel. Like, we don't want that. I don't want our young soldiers going to war for that.
Charlie Kirk was very aware he was going to die his whole last day alive. We even have clues of him showing betrayal to people that are very close to him. Not to mention a whole bunch of videos being deleted from their YouTube and him warning a lot of his friends. So sorry, but we can't let that page turn. This was his last day alive compared to normal interviews. You can see right here, the video I just showed you, I'm about to show you again. His whole nose is red. His eyes look very teary. He had been crying before he went on the show. It really can't be more obvious. And while he's in his home office, he was looking at somebody with that look. Here's it in slow motion. He's looking at someone like that right there. Again, a fake smile. You can tell he had been crying. This aired, I guess, on September 10th, but it was recorded on September 9th. The day before, while he was texting everybody that he was scared for his life. So the question is, who was he looking at like that? Because right here, he's in his home office. So again, someone very close to him.
CEO of Turning Point USA, Charlie. There's some good news here, clearly, with the conservative young male voters.
Probably Erica Kirk driving them freaking nuts.
Going on
I can only imagine that woman.
And not wanting to prioritize family.
Yeah, this is a pattern that I've seen time and time in these colleges.
Why did this whole thing get swept under the rug?
It's a place called Raccoon Island in Miami.
Already looks incredible.
You can literally just kayak to it. It's one of those many little keys, and you just rock up, and the raccoons just hang out.
Oh my goodness!
So
They're
these
feeding it a Pringle.
It's fantastic, dude.
Looks amazing for the kids too.
And look at this. And that's the thing is, these animals have completely changed their behavior. Right? They're a nocturnal, like pretty elusive creature. That now look at this island, which is like a controlled study site, basically.
Yeah.
They're now diurnal because people visit during the day, and they live on Pringles.
Let's have a look at this lady behind President Trump and just look into her eyes. I've been saying this for a long time. The people that are running the show, the people that are behind the closed doors, they are not human. They are some sort of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids, and it's been caught on tape over and over and over again. They live amongst us, and this is why they're so evil, because they're not connected to the source of all creation. Peace and love.
Wait, hold up.
This is what I'm talking
about. You mean
about.
to tell me that we're still paying taxes and the federal workers aren't even paying taxes themselves? So the reports say 149,000 federal employees owe $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes, and this is just for the fiscal year of 2021. Now, this isn't a new report. This comes from a couple of years ago, but we just glossed over this, right? And mind you, almost 6,000 of those employees are IRS agents themselves who owe $50 million in unpaid taxes as well. Gets wilder though, because since 2020, the IRS has spent at least $10 million on guns and ammo for its 2,100 special agents. Why? In addition to 4,500 guns, 5 million rounds, 539 long barrel rifles, 15 machine guns that's already in stock at the agency. What are they getting prepared for? I mean, could it be that they're getting ready for some type of uprising or revolution regarding taxes? Now, this is uncovered by Senator Joni Ernest, who presented a bill saying federal workers need to get audited every year, and if they fail, then they get fired. Now, as taxes ramp up, the billionaires are making their move, including Zuckerberg, who is going from California to Florida. Now, he's doing this to avoid the 2026 Billionaire Tax Act, which is a one-time 5% wealth tax fee. Okay, you guys, let's really think about this for a minute. You go to the store, you have sales tax. Some states, you have state income tax. Then you have federal tax. Then you go to the gas pump, you have gas tax. You move a certain amount on PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, etc., tax. So a
$600.
third of your time, energy, and money, you're actually working for the government. So the question is, how did we get here? Well, since 1913, when they ratified the 16th Amendment, they made taxes legal because before that, the U.S. Supreme Court actually deemed taxes unconstitutional and illegal, which is the same year, 1913, the Federal Reserve was created. And if you guys didn't know, the Federal Reserve is a bank owned by other banks. Surprise! You guys, I would just like to know, for the 8th straight year, how does the Pentagon fail an audit spending taxpayers' money and we're missing about $50 billion, but there's no recourse? But if you do it, you have penalty fees and even risk jail time. Make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Where's the uprising for that? Where's that uprising? That's why I say people are out there protesting because they want you out there protesting. That's why you're protesting for nonsense. You're out there because they want you out there, not because it's because it's what's right and you're out there because that's what they want.
What's that? Oh, a giant iceberg broke off of a glacier. How big was it? Oh, just the size of Chicago. What was under it? Oh, scientists discovered a whole new bunch of life forms underneath the iceberg. Oh, goody. Yeah, they found things like luminescent worm type creatures under there that were only about the size of a house. Oh, fun. They believe there's at least tens of thousands of species and creatures that we're unaware of in that area. Goody. These scientists were super excited about their findings, but they left very quickly once their boat was elevated in the air and moved and dropped down what they say was about a mile away, and they have no idea what did it. Okay.
I used to be a debt collector for 15 years, and there's one question that would stop us in our tracks every single time. Ready? Just ask them. Can you provide written proof that you have the legal right to collect this debt? That's it. We hated that question because most of the time we couldn't. Debts get bought and sold for pennies. Half the time, collector doesn't even have the paperwork. That question is your right under the FDCPA, and it shuts the whole thing down. Save this. You're going to need it. Share it with somebody that can use it, and follow for more tips that they don't want you to know. The link's in the bio.
Erica herself is therefore Syrian Lebanese on her mother's side and Swedish on her father's side. So something which struck me as immediately odd about Erica is just how deeply she identifies as Swedish, despite her public insistence that she was raised by a quote-unquote single mother. Think about that just from a social perspective. If Erica was indeed raised by a single mother, wouldn't you expect her to identify more deeply with those Lebanese Syrian roots, right? You might even understand it if she resented her Swedish roots. Like, my dad didn't do anything, and so I'm not even doing anything with the Swedes. I don't even like being Swedish. To the contrary, Erica feels so deeply attached to her Scandinavian roots.
Before we get into this, I thought they were friends. Didn't she go on the show with her and they were laughing and hanging out together? And Am I mistaken that? Now she's on here bashing her again. See what I'm saying? They want this division. They want this division. They're friends behind closed doors. We've seen a podcaster talk about they went to a party and they were all at the same party, hanging out, drinking together, and they come on podcasts and divide us. They divide us. The right and left do it. The right and if the left's doing it, you think they're the only bad guys? The left, the Democrats are the only bad guys, and the rights are holy American Christian people, right? No, they use that against you. They know their supporters are mostly Christian people, so guess what? They use that to divide you, and they say the left aren't, right? They use that against you, y'all.
That in 2019 she moved to begin the process of obtaining her dual citizenship. She posted this herself, where she is, dual citizenship commenced. Okay. Maybe you're thinking logically, well, she loves her grandpa. I had a fantastic grandpa. I get that. I should mention she comes from a very long line of the Swedish Freemasons. She definitively was close to her grandfather. We know this because she posts about him many, many times over the years, referring to him affectionately as her morfar. Saw this over and over again. You'll just see posts of him on how much she loves him. She even mentioned her grandmother there. That's his wife, Elaine. And she says she is my angel in heaven, but I usually call her Mormor. So that's her morfar and her mormor. Show you another post, just her grandfather, where she's going to talk about reflecting upon losing him in 2016. She's posting this, and she again is going to address him as her morfar. This appears to be another wrinkle. You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And what they told me about it, they didn't like about it, made me reconsider things. But they said, Candace, Erica is referring to her grandfather as her morfar. I was like, okay. So I looked it up. It means grandfather in Swedish. Like maybe she doesn't, but it's cute. Okay. Maybe she's not fluent, but she's cute. And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace, the Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words for these things. These have entirely different meanings. You would never call your father's mother your morfar. You would never call, that's what she's doing. She's calling him her morfar. That is Erica's farfar. If Kent is her father, her father's father is her farfar. She said, a woman emailed this, she said, no Swedish grandfather would ever allow you to refer to him as morfar if he was not actually your morfar, okay? If he was your farfar, he'd say, very cute, I'm your farfar, let's get that straight. This would be something akin to being someone's grandfather and allowing them to call you uncle. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Words have meaning. So why is her very Swedish grandfather, so Swedish, this line of Freemasons, Masons Swedish, allowing Erica to call him my mother's father? Lori's father? No, that's not Lori's father. What's going on here? This is an incredibly interesting wrinkle.
No one has any clue what it is.
What is going on here?
And that is why they get away with us paying taxes, because millions of people are tuned in to this Erica Kirk thing, not knowing that Erica Kirk is probably sending her those pictures to post. People need to wake up, man. They think they're awake, y'all, but they're not.
Is that some sort of, that's not a foam finger that got caught up in the rainstorm, is it?
What is this, guys?
Is that a balloon covered in dish soap?
A balloon.
Nobody knows exactly what it could be. What in the world is going on anymore? What is happening anymore in the Matrix? Now, this was at a minor league baseball game. And again, nobody knows what it is. Maybe there's nothing to this at all. Maybe it's just a piece of plastic. I really don't know what is going on, but you've got to admit that is very strange. Very, very
bizarre. What do you think about this? Wake up!
This is why you gotta come. When you get your house built, you gotta come every single day to watch these folks build your home. This a low bearing wall. Look at the gap. Look how your nails in here.
Look at this one, look right here. Look at this. It's not even stable, look at it.
Look at your gaps. That's why you gotta come.
It's not even stable.
Look at this nail.
These are all the guys
That's
that built
why you
it.
gotta come when these folks build your house. Look at the nails. You ain't gonna never see this because this is gonna be behind the wall. Look at your gaps.
Look at this straight.
And your joists, your 2x4. Look at this.
Why they got this one sticking out?
You gotta come every single day. Look at this.
Is this even stable?
Guarantee you they'll never take stuff like this out. This gonna stay behind your wall for forever. Look at the nail, straight through the stud.
I mean, the price of things are going up, and
Look
the
at the
quality
trash
of
wood
things
that they
are
use.
coming down.
Look at it.
I mean, it's terrible, y'all. Like, I'm not buying a new house ever.
Look at the trash wood.
I'll buy like a, 2015 prior house? What do you guys think? What year?
This pressure
Any
treated,
construction workers
but
out there? What
look at
year? 2020 and prior? Is
Look
that
at
when
your
things
angles
started
of your
getting
wood
cheap?
cut wrong.
Because I'm in the market for a new house next year. And I know I'm not getting a new build. I know that for sure. I hear too many horror stories for new builds. Personally and online.
You ain't gonna never know.
What is it, 2020 and prior? I believe 2020 is when they started. That's when things took off, price-wise. So
This is behind your
I'm
wall.
guessing the quality of stuff went down then too.
So I recruited this guy from scratch. He had a very specific telltale crimp. Crimp is a certain way that you twist the wires inside a bomb. He had a very unique way of connecting the wires and twisting them. In fact, we had a name for him based on the style of the crimp. So I knew that the guy who had blown up the Citibank branch also planted the bomb at the McDonald's. I just didn't know his name until he's sitting in front of me and he says, yeah, I'm the one who built those bombs. So he built one like right in front of me, and I took it into the office to show them it's the crimp that we've been wondering for 6 years who's building these bombs. It's him. The reason why he agreed to be recruited was because he really, really needed the money. So I started paying him, and I was paying him pretty handsomely too. And he was giving me good information, like operational information. So he calls me one night, and it was late. It was like 11, and he did the, what we call the protocols. And I said, hello. He says, hi, the rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain. So I said, oh, mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. And he laughed and I laughed and we hung up. And that meant meet me in the parking lot of, the Jumbo toy store at 2 a.m.
Toy store.
Watch this.
The freaking toy store, y'all. That's where they're going to meet talking about explosives. They can't meet at the federal building. They can't meet at the World Bank. They got to meet at the toy store. Make that make sense. That's how deep these things go. That dude just said it. Meet me at the toy store. That's where we're going to go. This terrorist that the CIA hired, so now he's a good guy. Meet me at the toy store. Not meet me at, you might as well say meet me at the preschool. Jesus Christ. God, man. Meet me at the toy store. Parking lot. It's terrible. had thumbs, huh? They'd be smarter than us if they had thumbs.
Ravens are just very smart. Here are some quick facts about them that are honestly pretty surprising. One, they're just smarter than you probably think. Something like this, where they use sticks or something to retrieve food, has been documented many times. And another thing that they do that's actually very smart is they will get nuts or acorns or whatever they're trying to eat, and they will drop them in traffic so that cars will run over them. So pretty much the traffic cracks the nut for them, and then they'll go get it and then fly off with it and eat it. Incredibly smart. And they can actually assess problems. So they will figure out a problem that they have, assess it, think about what kind of tool would help them. Like in this video, that one stick wouldn't work, and he went and got the longer, skinnier stick, stuck it in there, and it worked perfectly. They are just very good at cause and effect. And when there's a problem, they figure out how to fix it, and then when it's not getting fixed, they figure out what's happening to not fix it, and then they fix that problem. They're just very smart animals. And they actually have one of the largest brain to body ratios in the animal kingdom. From their body size, their brain is huge, and that just helps them do things like this, cause and effect, plan for the future. They're very smart, and this video shows they know how to fix a problem.
So you're telling me that most of the customers at the malls in Los Angeles are paid actors?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because I am one. It's the best acting job in Hollywood, or at least the one that's the most consistent.
How did you get started in this?
It was during Rick Caruso's campaign. To show that he was successful and profitable, he reached out to Central Casting and just hired extras to make the Grove look like it was thriving.
What were your instructions, your acting instructions when you're working at the Grove?
At the beginning of every shift, you come in and you get assigned your loop. When you first start out, you're out in the sun, you're probably hitting your anthropology past the cinemas, or you get stuck doing the parking garage, which sucks.
Oh, wow. Never thought of that.
I was an escalator guy for the first 6 months. As you work your way up, you get to go into the food court, but seniority is the trolley.
Down to the people that ride on the trolleys. Those are all extras.
You don't need as many because that's obviously the most regular people are getting on that trolley. There's probably 5 extras on that trolley.
What are the conversations you're having? Are you doing improv, or what are you saying?
Yeah, mine's non-speaking. You don't want to interact with another customer or anything like that. There's a few speaking directions. One time I was a fountain guy.
What's fountain guy?
Pretend you're the fountain going on.
Wow.
What do you think? What do you think about that dude? That's the dude that said he worked at the underground Starbucks, isn't it? That, you know, Will Smith and them go to A-list celebrities that you never see in traffic, right? That the elites, they have underground tunnels and they have cities under there. That's the same dude. Now he's an extra that is the fountain guy.
Dealer, I can tell you why no one else is going to prison for the Epstein stuff. The FBI investigated it for years and produced millions of documents, but they can't prosecute anybody. We all know that's bullshit. And if you look at how they take down drug kingpins, you can understand it better. They don't start at the top. They start with somebody who got caught with a little bit of drugs and tell them either you're going to jail or you can tell us where you got it. And if they give up a name, they go catch that person with drugs and they tell them the same thing. And they keep doing that and work their way up as high as they can. Going to prison is a strong motivator to turn someone else in. But pretty much everybody associated with Epstein was among the richest and most powerful people in the world. On one hand, you might think that means they can hire lawyers to defend themselves. But on the other hand, if any of them got arrested, they would be able to hire lawyers and private detectives and pull strings and find ways to get themselves out of trouble. And that'd probably include taking other people down. So it's in all their interests for none of them to be prosecuted. By the time we're given the illusion that the legal system is a justice system, even if that means somebody has to be a scapegoat, but when everybody involved is rich and powerful, the veil comes off. And that's what we're seeing now. 2 million people are currently in American prisons and jails. Almost all of them are poor. And any sort of disadvantage significantly increases the chances you'll be incarcerated. Meanwhile, if you're rich and powerful, you're very unlikely to ever go to prison, even if you do something wrong. That has nothing to do with justice. It's the opposite of justice. And the system isn't broken. It was literally designed this way by the very type of people that are involved in the Epstein stuff.
We just saw the arrest of Nemesio Ceguera Cervantes, the head of the New Generation Cartel, who may or may not be dead because nobody knows.
But he's arrested, and now he may or may not be dead?
His son-in-law faked his death in Mexico.
Okay.
And miraculously resurrected himself and was arrested in Riverside, California.
Oh.
So what are we doing realistically with this designation? Is this an attempt by the United States to actually eliminate the cartel problem and this fentanyl epidemic, which the United States created, by the way?
Why do you say we created it?
Because you prescribe fentanyl in the U.S. for a long period of time to people. And then
Talking about like the Sacklers and
the opiate epidemic and all that, that's good America. So then when they realized that a lot of the orchards that were being populated with marijuana grows were no longer necessary because you guys are growing weed up here, we cut that off and now we put heroin in there and then we mix it with fentanyl to give it a kick.
There are a lot of people that are very famous musicians. The rumor has it they were executed because they were getting ready to expose pedophilia.
Executed as in killed?
Well, the rumors going around about Chester from Lincoln Park and about Chris from Soundgarden was that they were making a movie on child abuse and child trafficking, I think it was. They're both gone, and it's very suspicious.
So let's go over the damage of Walmart using electronic tags. So Walmart's having a bad time. See right here how it says this item, but you get 12 times 140 grams. These are 140 gram bags. So I'll pay this for the first one and then get the rest of them for free. It's that one.
What?
There's some others. So Walmart's really fucking up. See? 12 bags for 4. 12 bags. 12 bags.
Is that how that works? I don't get it.
These are 15 bars, 15 bars, 15 bars, 20 bars, 16 bars. These are all corporate errors. So let's go over it. I got 75 Aero bars, 20 Crunch bars, 30 Kit Kat bars, 30 little chocolate bunnies. I got 24 boxes of cereal. And all together, I got 48 bags of these candies. So they had them priced, like I just showed you in the video, as their case amount for the price. That was only 2 stores. One of the stores is fighting me on it, even though I know that I'll get it. So that will be another like $600 worth of stuff. But yeah, I paid... How much did I pay? I paid... Where is it? I paid $44.09 for $773.21 worth of stuff.
Years. Trees are insane. Because what do you mean this tree started to grow in 1525 AD? Here to here is an entire human life. But the tree was alive 400 years. Trees are insane. Because what do you...
We need to talk about the dolphins.
They look like they have a giant smile. They're 400-pound puppy dogs. We develop land-based and water-based activities with the dolphins to help restore brain function. You get in the water and you see those dolphins, it really nourishes your soul. Highly intelligent, their brain is very similar to ours. We are visual creatures. Dolphins' echolocation is their primary sense. We develop specific in-water exercises with the dolphin behaviors touching the dolphins. In the water, they're constantly echolocating on our clients. They can tell things internally, goes right through your tissues. Extremely sensitive to changes in the environment. This one client who was dealing with seizure disorder, the dolphin would not leave the area of her head when she's laying on her back in the water. And the marine mammal specialist who wanted to move the dolphin away just said, this dolphin will not move from this woman's head. Marine mammal specialists spend countless hours caring for these dolphins like they're their children. They're so intimate with them that they say, we have people that they will stay closer to. We find out later that they have X, Y, and Z conditions. They have a certain connection. They have a soul.
You guys know about the mattress theory, right?
No. Mattress theory?
Yes. Tell me why. If you look at mattress stores, a lot of them are across the street from each other. That's one. 2, mattress stores, they barely have anybody in there.
They never do.
How are you staying in business for years to come? You're beating out all the other businesses?
So you're saying that they're hiding things in those mattresses?
It could be laundering. It could be transport. It could be fronts. If you pay attention, really look at mattress stores, where they're located. A lot of them are near each other. They never go out of business. How many mattresses do you buy every year?
You don't.
You don't.
So how many other times do other people buy mattresses?
You probably buy one every few years.
Exactly.
Realistically.
I mean, to stay in business, you got to sell shit, right?
So you're saying they stuff in people and or drugs and or money, like cartoon
I'm not
shit.
saying I'm not claiming anything. It doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the mall, though. What's all those stores in the mall doing? How are they in business?
I don't know.
Seriously, go to your local mall. Just look around. How's the fucking kiosk?
Yeah, a lot of them.
How are they in business?
I don't know.
How are they making that much money?
Especially with Amazon right now.
When's the last time you actually went to a mall?
I actually just went. First time in a
But
long
you like
time.
to buy like some clothes or whatever.
Nah.
What do they buy in malls?
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
just
like
go to walk
always a bunch
around,
of
burn
empty
some
stores.
calories after
Fraud,
eating
right?
lunch.
So you really think about it. If these stores
Maybe buy a
aren't
hat.
selling stuff the way they are, especially with Amazon, the competition is crazy right now. Think about this. You have a large overhead. You have all this inventory. How are you staying in business? Now you look at a situation like the Leering Center in Minnesota and all these.
The fuck is the Leering Center?
Well, the Learning Center.
Oh,
remember the Leering Center? They forgot the N and the
Come on,
daycare
bro.
fraud, right?
Look alive.
So they have no kids, but you got $6 million a
Keep
year
up.
for no kids. So you really got to look at all these other businesses because how are you staying afloat?
That's how they're going to crash the system.
They're gonna
They keep
start-
exposing this. We're going to find out everything's a fraud.
Right.
Do they think we're stupid?
That's why we're $38 trillion in debt. And how are we able to print our own money, but we're paying taxes? Does that make sense?
How?
If we can create the money, why are we paying taxes? Does that make sense to anybody? You can just print it up, right? But we pay taxes. That's the
Right
fraud
there.
right there.
This whole place is built on it.
Does anybody else see this shit?
We're getting there. I'm telling you, that's why Trump is the last president of this regime.
Because once we show all the fraud that's going on over the next few years, when it goes from healthcare, when it goes to the school system, when it goes into all these other different industries, you're like, oh shit, what if all this is a fraud? We're done.
That's where we're going, guys.
Yeah.
And that's why they're doing all these Samantha Guthries, these ICE shootings, these Iran wars, World War IIIs. Their backs against the wall, y'all. The backs against the wall. Too much things are getting exposed. They tried banning TikTok. They bought it. It's still coming out. They're doing everything they can do to keep us dumbed down. Is it going to come out where we're going to say, you know what? We're coming to get like enough is enough. We're done listening to you. We're done protesting over this nonsense. Right? Trump said on that speech, like, Iran, this is your chance to overthrow that government. This is probably your one and only opportunity to go overthrow the regime. That's what we need to be doing. We need to go overthrow that regime. Right? When are we going to be like, this is our chance to go over? You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. When he said that, and I heard him say that, Iran, this is your chance to go overthrow that regime. Your last chance. That's what we need to be doing, y'all. They're getting away with too much junk, too much stuff, y'all. Too much stuff they've been getting. Just like the cartel I said on an earlier video. They're getting away with too much stuff. They all are. All these people in power. Cartel's getting away with like little kids. They're not getting spanked, right? They're doing all the spanking. Same with these politicians. It's time for them to get spanked. You know what I mean?
And in the Epstein files, that is Sergey Brin. You're probably like, where have I heard that name before?
I mean, look at
You
this.
were saying a lot in the Oval Office. I figured just somebody that likes to speak with his really wonderful MAGA girlfriend.
You see, Sergey here was the co-founder of Google and the current
what I'm saying?
co-founder of Alphabet. And if you're like, well, maybe that wasn't him. Yeah, it was. Oh, and here's where they set up a special dinner. There are 20 chairs and 21 guests in the small room.
We ain't
Please show up
invited to
alone.
that dinner.
Look whose name is right there. You think when these people see each other after many years, they're like, hey, you remember that time? Preceded by a statement that would normally gross the rest of us to fuck out, but then you have these people. They're all connected. Don't forget to share, like, and comment.
See, so many people, y'all. I don't honestly like. There's so many people like that on other channels, like that MAGA, like comment. I love my president. Like, we're not invited to that dinner, y'all. You'll never be invited to that dinner. You see that president walking down the street. You see his son walking down that street. You ain't even gonna be able to go up to him and shake his hand. Not unless you're in that club. And here you are over here bowing down to him while he's saying, give me all your money. Right? It's crazy.
Here
Y'all. It baffles me.
You've heard about it. Here it is.
Look at this guy trying to be one of us.
This is something that we have tested already.
First McDonald's burger he's had in
Portugal,
his whole
Germany,
life.
Canada. I love this.
Trying hard to get some
It is
sales.
so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it.
See, when was the last time this guy's ever done this? Any CEO's done this. And what's going on with McDonald's with all these fast foods right now? Sales are down. Businesses are shutting down. So what is he doing? What does he think he's doing? Oh, I'm going to be like one of the everyday people and I'm going to enjoy. I'm eating this for lunch right now. Right? So you should eat this for lunch. I'm one of you guys. Like they're so out of touch with us, y'all. These powers that be are so out of touch with us that they think that them eating a hamburger is going to make them think that we think they're one of us. That's how out of touch these people are with us. They're so out of the loop. They haven't sat down with a regular person in I don't know how long, probably in their whole damn lives. And he thinks him eating a $12 hamburger in front of a camera is going to make us go and buy that burger so he can get some more sales.
We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth.
Little ass bite.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
That chimpanzee just made a stone tool, and that one's hunting with a spear. If this looks like the Stone Age to you, you're not wrong. They've wielded stone tools for thousands of years.
When will fast food companies realize that putting their CEO on camera consuming their product is always a bad idea? It is never natural. They never look like humans. And McDonald's just did one of the worst I've ever seen with their new Arch Burger. Let me show you.
Okay, here with, you've heard about it. Here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good.
I love this product. I eat this product every single day. This man looks like he's only consumed burgers intravenously. Let's continue.
First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique...
It's so uncomfortable. Like, we get it. You're trying to sell the burger, but that is not big by any means.
All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big...
Oh yeah, Mr. CEO, huge bite there. Absolutely demolished it. This reminds me of that one episode of SpongeBob where Squidward has his first Krabby Patty and he just barely eats it. That's what this is.
Anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheese.
I mean, how many times he keeps calling this a product instead of food is concerning. But again, fast food companies, stop putting your CEOs in these videos. They're all awful. This was very uncomfortable, and I'm sorry I made you guys watch it. I'd like to hear in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Can I ask, why was Ghislaine Maxwell invited to your daughter Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010? She'd already been mentioned in a civil lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre before that. Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted before.
She came as the plus one, the guest of someone who was invited.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
See, it's so annoying, y'all. Like, they even asked Trump, like, what do you think about Bill Clinton, whatever he did, right? His deposition or whatever, y'all. And he was like, well, I hate that they did that to him, right? But they did it to me a lot worse. Like, pretty much, I wish they wouldn't have done that to him, right? He's a man of power. He's my friend. You know, they're all in the same circle. And then her, right? And like, she was a plus one. She was invited to our wedding, but she was just a plus one. I don't know who she is. And then all that comes from that is, all right, Hillary, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. She's telling the truth, guys. All right, Bill. You didn't know any of that was going on, even though you were in the hot tub and, you know, whatever. Girl was sitting on your lap. All right, Bill. Sounds good, even though you did that with Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. All right, Bill. Have a good one. Trump, all right, Bill. Tell you the truth. On to the next one. Here's Iran. Sick of it, y'all.
At 1,000 miles an hour up there receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead. And I made mistakes, and I was like a novice, but I felt a lot of love, and I felt a lot of
And this is very weird. He talked about in the video how he is dead. That is a very strange keyword to use in this interview.
favorite funny face is the one I'm wearing right now.
And then he talked about his favorite funny face being the one that he has on right now. I wonder what he meant by that. Again, I don't know what is going on. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure that it's nothing. I'm sure that it's just age. You know, that's all that it probably is. And he's okay. He's okay. He is A-okay. Right. But what if there is something more going on? I really don't know what is going on anymore. Again, he's probably just joking. He probably is just joking.
He is a comedian.
But this is the Jim Carrey I remember right here. This is the Jim Carrey I remember. So who is this? What is really going on anymore? What do you think?
Everything I'm about to say has been written down and discussed by Admiral McCraven, so
Good
I feel
book,
okay
I read his
talking
book.
about it. So we were on a deployment to
Sea
Horn of
Stories?
Africa.
I forgot
Let's say
what
I
his book was
stumble across in the
Good
course of like working my targets this guy, Saleh Ali Saleh Nabhan. Many years later, I'm listening to Jocko and Admiral McCraven's on there, and he starts talking about this op in Somalia where they found this guy Nabhan, and I'm like, what the
So Saleh Nabhan was a guy in Somalia. At one point in time, he was like the #1 guy on the FBI's top 10 list.
He was one of the senior planners for the Kenya and Tanzania embassy bombings. And it's not an easy problem because his location is on the coast of Somalia.
We moved a couple of small boys, a couple of destroyers out there, put some Little Bird helicopters on him. I had briefed this because there had been a lot of concern in the White House that they didn't want to put helos anywhere in Somalia because of the Black Hawk Down incident. But we had developed this kind of special bomb at the time that we could drop from a small airplane, but it was experimental to say the least.
We're circling overhead one day, and then we get a hit on this dude.
As the sedan starts to move, and we believe that to be Saleh Nabhan, the plane gets overhead, we're in the window, weather comes in, nothing's looking right, we can't get the targeting right, and now I'm losing my target. Pete Van Hoosier's on the other end going, "Sir, come on, we need to send the helos in." And I'm like, you know, I was really told kind of not to do that.
McCraven's like, switch to guns, get them. I'll deal with the fallout later.
The helos went in. As soon as the bad guys saw the helos, they open up on us. Helos open up on them. That obviously doesn't go too well for them.
They come in, they blast the guy.
Pull the bodies out, and all 4 of them turned out to be bad guys, and Saleh Nabhan was one of them.
Jackpot.
I don't know what's worse. The shit that they revealed about the Epstein files, or the rabbit hole that I went down about live dolls. And let me start by saying this. This is another reason why I always say the dark web is not the place to be. So basically, people are getting auctioned on the dark web. And they're getting auctioned to be a live doll. You heard what I just said? A live doll. So people on the dark web will bid on you. And when they win the bid, you basically sign yourself away to be their live doll. So how they do this is, they will surgically remove all of your bones, all of your limbs. They will have your tongue cut out. They will remove your eyes. They will then set your body up to a feeding tube so that you can get food and nourishments so you can spend the rest of your life as a live dog. You heard what I just said? And the craziest part of that is this. If you wanted to die, if you wanted to get out of that contract, if you wanted to get your own life back, that is not possible. You can't even take your own life. You would have to be a live dog for the rest of your existence until you expire. Jump down a rabbit hole. Hit that search bar up there, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. There are people that are signing up for this on the dark web. I'm out.
So in all of the Epstein files, what is the craziest email that you feel like everybody missed?
The most interesting email is this connection of the House of Rothschild to Jeffrey Epstein. Edmond de Rothschild, at the time, was facing a problem with the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice was alleging that Edmond de Rothschild, the bank in Switzerland, was helping wealthy Americans dodge taxes. So what they decide is that they'll pay a fine. Now, to negotiate that settlement, they hire 2 individuals, Kathy Rumler and Jeffrey Epstein. He says, I think you will find 45.5 penalty, that's 45.5 million. Legal, 10 million for legal fees to Kathy. Me, 25. All less than 80, pretty good. They paid $45.5 million to the Department of Justice. Epstein was paid $25 million to broker that deal. The reason why this puts it all together for me is you have the Rothschilds negotiating with the American Justice Department. Who do you hire? There are 10 law firms which you hire. You don't hire Jeffrey Epstein unless you're hiring him for a reason.
Also, I got very disturbed toward the end about something that happened to some of the government people. And I realized, holy crap.
Hitchhikers.
Well, yeah. That, and so hitchhikers being that you take things home with you. Everybody took things home with them. I took things to my house. Things happened to my wife and to me, and different things. So everybody took things home. We all, we did, but we didn't know that, it was like going to be kind of permanent. We didn't know that, that it's going to stay with you for for years and years or the rest of your life, who knows. But the ones that bothered me a lot were where anybody got hurt or really disturbed. And not that it happened on the ranch. It was when they left the ranch, like you say, hitchhikers, and these were government people, and affected them.
Very dramatic ways, though.
Very dramatic ways. Very dramatic ways. And there's a cousin to that we're facing, but it's abated at least for now. And this other survival topic, right? Very dramatic kind of things that we wanted to have reduced or stopped. So, but going back to the government people, the buyer came along at the right time. I had decided I wanted to
take this off your plate.
Yeah, take it off my plate, tone it down, and if necessary, just lock it up and forget about it. And next thing I know, the buyer comes along, and the rest is history.
People seeing entities that very well may mimic that look in the Predator movie, chasing a deer or an elk through a herd. I've heard that story twice. And the herd scatters and the entity doesn't catch it from this person high up. And this one time they said that they saw it chasing, and then it stops dead, and it looks right up straight at him. And he goes, I never made a sound. I never moved. I have no idea why you even knew I was here. But it scared the heck out of me that it knew I was there, and it looked at me.
A long time ago, back in the 80s and 90s, when children went missing, where did they end up?
Milk cartons.
The milk cartons. And you know what? Right around that same time, there was also big PR campaigns for Hollywood superstars and famous people where they were saying, got milk? When you think about it, this Epstein stuff has been going on for a long time. When children were missing, they'd end up on the milk carton, and then these supposed celebrity famous people were bragging in your face. Do you got milk? I saw that right after this advertisement, this PR campaign from RFK, and I realized, wow, the whole Got Milk campaign was literally them mocking people to their face regarding the missing children that were probably being utilized in this dark, evil way by these celebrities and famous people. Just a little tidbit conspiracy theory I'm going to tap on here for all of you homeworkers to go and drop a comment if you see any connection.
Bro, are you seeing this? He's charging an electric car with a generator. So it's electricity. Yes, electricity. He invented the world's most expensive extension cord. This is EV cosplay.
All right, family, there you have today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I got some things getting delivered today, y'all. I'm doing some upgrades to my 4Runner. Decided I'm keeping it for the very long haul. So I got some running boards coming, right? I got 2 kids. I got Mama Bear that has a hard time getting in. So I got some running boards coming today. Damn near 3 out of my 4 doors don't lock. So I got some actuators. I got some new motors. I got some new like hatch for the actuators. Now I bought everything because I took it before to a guy that does, doors and all that. I could do it, but dealing with the door, hinges and all that, popping them, I always have trouble and break the little plastic thing. So I took it to somebody. So he told me I might need a new motor. So I bought everything. Whatever I don't use, I'll just return it. So I got those coming today. I got my running boards coming today. The running boards I will put on myself. I got all my door actuators coming. My birthday's coming up, so I'm going to ask my mom. She wanted to give me some shoes or a watch. I said, you know what you can give me? I wanted to get a lift on my 4Runner, so I might get I'm either going to get a lift or just like a spacer or something, just a 2.5 inch or a 3 inch lift. I don't know what I'm going to get yet. I got to do some research. I want some 33 inch tires on there. So I'm going to do a lot of upgrades coming up to my 4Runner, y'all. I'll make sure I post, show you guys a little bit. It's 2007 4Runner. It's nothing new. It's an older 4Runner. And I also want to do a nice tune up to it just to make sure it lasts another 150,000 miles, y'all. But that's the plan today. Put those running boards on. And once I get all my pieces for my doors, I'll be taking it probably next week. And I got some speakers because I don't have speakers in there. The speakers have been blown out. So I've been listening to, YouTube on my phone when I drive to the store or whatever. So I got speakers coming today too, I think. So I'll be getting those installed next week sometime. So I got a lot of upgrades coming up to my little 4Runner, y'all. It's about time, long overdue, y'all. So that's the plan this weekend, y'all. So I hope everyone out there has a good day. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. An hour and 10-minute banger for you guys for your Saturday, y'all. You guys got to leave a like. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.